Hey everyone, in this video we're going to cover code.org lesson 4 levels 1 through 6. So I'm going to share my screen out so you guys can see it. So what we're going to do here is talk about headings. So a heading, what you're looking at right here in the purple, that is considered a heading because it's larger, it's more important, and it's organizing a specific section of text. So it's a heading typically begins, a paragraph or a list or something of that nature. So we're going to get into the specific code of what creates various headings. So the H1 tag is the tag that creates the largest size heading. So I'm actually going to advance on to level 3. You can skip level 2 on lesson 4. So what you're going to see here on this level, sorry, my computer goes a little bit slow when I'm using Zoom, but what you're going to see here is some existing headings on a web page about soccer and different hobbies like baking and drawing. And there's some headings applied to the text, but there's not headings applied down here. So what we have to do is change the code so that drawing and 2 years matches the same sections up here. So I'm going to collapse my instructions so I have more room to code. So by using the inspector tool, we can see that this code corresponds with this text over here, and that this code corresponds with this text over here. So we're using an H1 opening and closing tag on my hobbies. We're using an H2 opening and closing tag on soccer, and also an H4 tag, which creates a slightly smaller heading size for how many years that person has been doing the hobby. Notice that the size of the heading goes down as the number in the tag goes up. So I know that can be a little bit confusing, but just think of it as importance. H1, it's number 1, it's the most important text on the entire page. So what we want to do is we want to match up the code down below, and it's correct for soccer, it's correct for baking. We're using those H2 and H4 tags on that text, but there's nothing on drawing. We're just using regular P tags, but these should match up here. So instead of using P tags, I'm just going to use the H2 tags. And and let's just see if that updated right away, which it did. I didn't even have to press refresh and save. And then here on 2 years, I'm just going to use the H4 tags so that it matches. And it does. So that way we have consistency all throughout this web page by using the heading tags. So you can press finish on that level. And the next level, which is level 4, lesson 4, we're going to look at all 6 different heading sizes. We can have headings ranging from H1 all the way through H6. But there's actually there's no such thing as an H7. So what we want to do here is we want to adjust it so that this line demonstrates the largest, excuse me, demonstrates or shows the largest size text, and that this is the smallest, and it goes in order from largest to smallest. And this is what you want to screenshot for your Canvas assignment when you're done. So we, as we talked about on the last level, H1 is actually the biggest size heading. So we're going to change this H3 to an H1, okay? And then That way it displays the largest size text. And then the smallest size heading is actually H6, and it doesn't go beyond that. There's no H7. So I'm changing the bottom one to the smallest. And now we have to fix all the ones in between. So we're just going to go in order. H1 is the biggest, and then H2 is the second biggest. H3 is the third biggest, or what they're calling medium big. H4, and this is about the size of regular paragraph text, by the way, it's just bolded. And then H5 is correct, we don't have to change that. And then H6 we had already changed to be the smallest size text. So make sure when you send me your screenshot, you collapse the instructions so I'm able to see your code and also your preview section. And press finish after you screenshot. The next level is just a quick check to make sure that you understand headings. And what you're going to do is you're just going to choose the appropriate multiple choice here. So I'm not going to give you the answer for that one. I want you to think about it. Think about which code, all right, or which preview section corresponds with this code. So just think of it this way. This is about the medium-sized text. This is the largest, and this is the smallest, okay? Because remember, H1 is the largest, H6 is the smallest, and H3 is right in between there. Okay. All right, so let's take care of level 6, and that will conclude our video instruction on headings. So this web page here, it just looks like a jumbled mess here. There's absolutely no structure to this content. And if you look down below here at the code, there's no HTML tags on it. Of course, we have our default tags up top, but there's no tags on any of this right here. So it looks like here, what this author of this website is trying to do is make a web page about his or her pets and kind of tell us about it in this paragraph. And then she's naming each of her pets. She's describing the type of pet it is, and then typing a paragraph about it. So what we want to do here, since my pet seems to be the title of the web page, we want to put the most important heading tags around that text. So notice when you do that, it indents your line of code and it makes my pets larger. Okay, now this is a paragraph right here. We can kind of tell that just by looking at it. So because it's a paragraph, we want to use p tags. All right, so I put the opening and closing p tags around this paragraph right here. And this is where we want to organize the rest of the page using heading tags and paragraph tags as well. So I'm going to start by, I'm going to start with my paragraphs. That's how I'm going to do this. So, and you guys can go in whatever order you want. I'm just putting the p tags here around the paragraphs, and there's 3 of them. And notice whenever you do that, it separates it out, because by putting a p tag, it adds a space after the paragraph. That's what the p tag does. It says this needs to be on its own line. And remember your / when you enter your closing tags there. And I have one more set of p tags here for the fish named Hamster. An interesting name for a fish. Okay, so now we have some structure here, but we also want to identify those headings. So it's really up to you what size headings you want to use. Me personally, I am going to use H2 tags. Let me see how that works. Because the instructions do not specify, what sizes to use here. But I'm going to use H3 tags on, the type of pet. Okay, so I'm using H2 tags on the name of the pet and H3 tags on the type of pet. And I'm going to follow the same pattern down here for Slowpoke the turtle. Okay. H3. Okay. And then also Hamster the fish. All right. And you guys can do the same. So once we do that, now it gives this page a lot more structure. It looks a lot better than it did when we first started off on that page. It's a lot easier to read and we can easily identify content. So hopefully this video was helpful in explaining how to complete the Code.org Lesson 4 headings, levels 1 through 6. And I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Please contact me if you have any questions about any of these levels. Thank you.